Hello everybody, Steffi here from The Makers. It's all about flamingos today, and it took me ages to work out what to wear this morning that would look kind of tropical and work with flamingos. So I hope I've made a wise choice. I think some of you have been waiting patiently, and I do apologize if I'm a bit late, but it's just like life. Sometimes we're late. So I'm just going to have a quick look who's here. I think there's lots of chats going on already. And let's have a look. Karen is there. Faith is there. Hello. Mo, Carol, Diane, Sandra, Lisa is there. And of course Emma is there. And lots of talking. I'm not actually going to oh, very muggy an island. Sorry, I just caught that one. It's very hot here where we are today. So nice, great. So lots of people watching. I'm just trying to find some new names here. Oh, Elise, I have a vague memory, but maybe you're not one of our regulars, but you're very, 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 very welcome. Jackie is there. Oh, lovely. Erica, Elizabeth, excellent. So many of you. It's really nice to see you all. I'm really sorry if I frown when I look at the comments. I'm trying to concentrate and can be quite tricky. So flamingos. Oh, they're all in a pile here at the moment. I wanted to display them all nicely, but they're quite awkward birds because these ones have got really dangly legs, because that's a really quick way of making a flamingo where you just have the body shape firm and the neck, and then to cut a lot of work out, you can just give them yarn legs, which is what I've done with all of these. And this is the size that I will be making today, but I think they look really cute if they're slightly smaller, because you can actually wear them as a brooch. So last year at the Handmade Festival, we wore them during the show, and lots of people wore them because they were actually making them during a workshop with 100 people in one tent. And it would be so nice if all of that was taking place this time, but unfortunately I don't think there will be any workshops running. However, the fair is going ahead, so if you want to go to the Handmade Festival, it's going to be in a different place in Scion Park in September. Then you can book your ticket and you will see us there. It's got to be worth it, right? So little flamingos, and this is the wool that I'm using. We actually have called this flamingo. It is a mountain sheep, which is turned into a bat, as you can tell. So just to explain again for some of those who often ask what is the difference between a top and a bat. This is a top. It's a long fiber, all combed in the same direction. It's often very soft. It doesn't have to be soft, but this is an Australian merino, so that is definitely very soft. A wool bat, if you can see, the fibers are all crisscrossed like that, and they're sort of pre-tangled, if you like, which makes them really easy to needle felt into a shape. So this one can be really hard to felt down because it's very flat, and if you're trying to make a shape, there's no loftiness in it, so the fibers don't have much chance to tangle up nicely. Plus they're really long, so you've got a lot of long fiber tangling up going on there, whereas this tangles up really fast because it's already pre-tangled. The fibers are shorter, and they really sort of just want to really knit together tightly. So that's the difference between the top and the bat. We get that asked an awful lot, and it's unusual that we're using a mountain sheep bat, but this is just the loveliest color for flamingos. We often use a New Zealand merino for bats as well. So merino again doesn't just have to be these long fibers. There's all kinds of different merinos depending on where the sheep have been bred and reared. Okay, I'm going to show you that we've got these instructions here now. I'm just going to get a bit closer up so you can see it, and just go on the closer up camera just so that you can see. So these are the instructions that we should have available as a PDF as well now. And you can definitely follow these as if you're a complete beginner, because they're really easy to follow. So our instructions usually look like this, that they have pictures, and then and then they have written word with it, and they're step by step. So if you ever worry about instructions, or if you worry about a project that you want to follow, never just look at the end. Just trust us that we take you through it from beginning till end. So I'm just going to show you the pipe cleaners that we're using. This is the extra strong white pipe cleaners. We really like these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change my what do you call it, mat, because I think we're going to not see the white very easily against that. So I'm just going to put that green mat there, and then you can see that better. Okay, so we're using the extra strong white pipe cleaner. Now if you're doing it for a large flamingo, which is about that size, so it fits sort of into your hand, that's the size of the flamingo, then you use the whole white pipe cleaner. If you're making a small one, so I've just got to take him off me, then you're only using about 1/3 of that pipe cleaner. So and you're definitely using less than half of the wool as well. So you need about to make that size flamingo, you need about I don't know actually how many grams. Emma, help me out with this one, but I don't think it's more than I would say it's no more than 5 to 8 grams. Now the weird thing is, when you're making something half the size, or what appears to be half the size, it doesn't mean to say that you're using half of the materials, because this is the weird thing, because it's actually a quarter of the size, because you're not looking at it flat, but you're looking at it 3D. So you will need much less wool on the small flamingo than you will need on the big one, even though it looks like you need to take half of the wool to make the small one. You actually only need a quarter. Right, put this out of the way, or thereabouts. Okay, I'm just going to go big here again. I'm just going to have a quick look at the comments again, and then we get cracking. So let's have a look. Oh, Pam is there from Oregon, or should I say Pamela? I don't know if I'm allowed to call you Pam. Oh, Jackie says can't. Well, Jackie, you must have seen the flamingo last year at the Handmade fair where I already knew you, but where we re-met and you discovered needle felting. I like the idea. I want to make them with nice and sturdy legs. Okay, so if you want to make them with nice and sturdy legs, then you could be using the pink pipe cleaners that we sell and build them in, and I'll try and make that connection for you as soon as I start making one. Oh yes, it definitely fades. This is how the mountain sheep walk around, obviously, in the fields. Bright pink. I would love to see mountain sheep of that color walking around, definitely. So nice. And Emma is checking the weight at the moment, so she will probably post that here, and then I can read that as well. Lovely. Okay, let's get cracking. Let's do this flamingo. If we've got enough time, I might even do 2. I'm going to go close up so that you can see very well what I'm actually doing. Okay, right, here we go. Put these to one side. Leave one here so you can see what I'm aiming for. Here's the pipe cleaner. And the thing that you actually start out with is a little bit of black wool. So I've got that here. And what you're going to do is you're going to wrap the black at the end here of the pipe cleaner as a thin cover because that's going to be the big black beak. And this is the pipe cleaner wrapping technique that I keep talking about it and have shown you lots of times, but I will show you again. So to wrap wool around a pipe cleaner or a wire, you have to keep it flat. So you're always just turning it over rather than twisting it round so it becomes string-like. And keep going over it and over it, and keep it nice and tight. That works. If it's loose, it's not the end of the world because you'll have to needle felt it down later. But if you keep it nice and tight like this, in fact that would probably almost work better on the white surface, just showing you that bit. If you keep it nice and tight, you get a really sort of neat, even layer. And then you're going to finish that off there. You're going to bend that beak in, because that's going to be your beak now that will be exposed. And once you've done that, if you had a bit of black left, you didn't have to tear it off like I did. You could just have it dangling. But in any case, you're now putting a really thin cover over that black area, so that you don't see the doubled up pipe cleaners anymore, so that that is now covered up, and then just get rid of the rest of that black. So you've basically made you've made a cotton bud with black at the end. Doesn't sound very attractive, does it? But that's what it's meant to look like a fatter area here where the pipe cleaner's been doubled up, and then just that little bit of black just while we're getting rid of it. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to bend in that beak already. So you're giving it a bend like that, and then you're going to use if you are using this kind of wool, this is actually unspun wool roving or top. So you could use this. If you haven't got that because you want to make sturdy legs, then you could be using just any kind of pink wool that you have got to hand. So I've got a bit of flesh pink here, or any any different shade pink to what the flamingo is. I'll use that just for the fun of it, because otherwise you can use that and wrap that around the next stage here. In fact, I'll use this first, and then if I have time, I'll make a second one. So you wrap this wool around there over the black, just exposing enough of that black beak that you've bent, and you're just basically creating another area here away from the black, and just another little strip there. And now you're going to use the main color pink to wrap. Again, keep it nice and flat, and I haven't needle felted this at all yet. There's a bit of vegetable matter in there. I'm just going to pull that out. That's perfectly a good sign, because that just means that the sheep have been running and still are happily in the field. So I'm covering now bits of edging my way a little bit further down, but I'm still covering some of that lighter pink that I've created, but I'm leaving a strip there. And now I'm just going round and round to finish off the head of the flamingo. So basically you've now made a head. If you've got as far as that, you've made a head. That's it. There, that's what it looks like. Okay, and the next thing that we're going to do is we're literally just going to cover now. You can already see where it's going. Can you see? There's your flamingo. That's it. Basically, we just need to cover it with wool. So making that head at the top is sort of more of the trickier bits. And what most people will say is that when they make a flamingo, it looks like a swan. And I'm preempting this because this is really important for you to know. The difference between a flamingo, well, there's lots of differences, but in terms of this stage here, is that the flamingo has got a downward, if you look at it, it has got a downward, sort of like a really round top here. Can you see? Really round top, and the tail goes down. A swan's tail kicks up. That's the swan's tail, okay? That's a really different shape. So we don't want that to kick up at any point. We do want it to be sort of like a really neat, round, contained, there. A really neat, round, contained, like a camel's back or a dromedar. No, that's the German word, but you know what I mean. There we are, like that. So that is to bear that in mind now, because I don't want you to say, oh, mine looks like a swan. They can look like a swan if you kick that tail up. Okay, I'm just going to go big again. I was going to show you, I did say I'm going to show you the surprise box for this month. We have got 9 of these left, okay? This is a subscription box that we've been doing for quite a time, over a year now, very successful. This one is tropical cocktails, which I thought would be really, really lovely to go with your flamingo. And we don't normally show you the contents until much later, because if you get this box, it's a surprise, and you don't want to spoil the surprise until you are able to open your own. So if you do get this box, if you get this box and you haven't got yours yet and you're watching this is the July surprise box. I keep saying it a few times over, so you can't say, oh, you've spoiled it for me. If you get this surprise box and you haven't got yours yet, and it's the Tropical Cocktails July box, then, and you don't want to see what's inside, then turn me off and look away, okay? I'll give you 2 minutes to do that now. I'll have a cup of tea so you can, you're looking away, you're not looking what's inside the box if you haven't opened yours yet, but I'm going to open this in a minute so that you can see what's inside. Right, okay, here we go. Ready? Open. Okay, so you always get in our boxes the monthly newsletter, which has always got a free tutorial on the back, which you all know. This was the peg dolls. There is already a video tutorial on YouTube. And then you get, it's all nicely wrapped with tissue paper. And then you get to open it up. And this one, open it up. You always get in your surprise boxes a flavor of the wools that are in there. So you get, it explains to you there what these different fibers are. And in this surprise box, you are getting, okay, I hope you are looking away if you don't want to see what's inside. You are getting cocktail sticks in the shape of umbrellas. You always get our sample of the month, which comes in all of our boxes and also orders. In this one, you're getting a special fiber, which is, don't let me lie, it's the pineapple fiber. So we're introducing you to new products that we currently don't sell. And you're getting a cocktail bowl, so you can drink your coconut cocktail with some plant-dyed wool. And this is our plant-dyed rainbow wool. And once you roll it open, where's the beginning? There, you can see it. It is absolutely lush. Look at this. You can just see the cocktail colors emerging there. So you get all of that in there, lots and lots and lots. Roll that up nicely again. And then also you get more cocktail colors, which is this lovely, you can just imagine sitting, even though you might not be able to do it for real, but imagine sitting next to see that color. That one is our turquoise Australian Merino bat. That's the flamingo that I'm using. And then you also get this lovely red color. It's just like a nice sunset on a hot beach. And basically that's what you're getting in there, and it explains you a little bit on here. So the flamingo, we couldn't have a tropical box with our flamingo wool, and it actually says to watch this live stream today. In fact, it says 2 p.m, but sorry, it's obviously 3 p.m. Pineapple fiber, the turquoise, and it tells you a little bit about these wools as well. So that's what you get in there. In the July surprise box, and we do have 9 boxes left. So if you like that color combo and you like the idea of getting a surprise box that that spurs you on, spurs your imagination on, allows you to have a little play, there's always a competition where we want to see what you've made. And the next box, so starting on the 1st of August, is actually is our jungle box. So and I'm not going to show you that, even though we're unpacking boxes tomorrow. I'm not going to show you the contents, but here you get your flamingo colors in there. So you're halfway there to make your flamingo. Close this up again. Okay, you can open your eyes again. All done. I'm not saying anything else about the surprise box now. Oh, left the newsletter out. Slide that in there. Okay, so this could be yours. Just go onto our website, look for the make a subscription boxes, and it will be one of the 3 that we currently have on offer. Of course, we do other subscription boxes. Right, let's get back to our Flamingo. This is how far we got. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. So now we need to cover him up with wool all around there. And what we're doing first is we're starting at the other end of the flamingo by covering, because we don't want any sharp pointy wire sticking out. So I'm going to cover that end up first. For that I just need a little bit of this, and I'm going to do that momentarily. So just give me a minute. I'm just going to have another sip of tea. Oil my voice today. Right, so I'm going to use the flamingo pink, and I'll wrap it just like I did with the black, but I'm not going to be as cautious as I was, because this is all going to be covered inside. So I'm just going to wrap it around there. And now I'm bending the tail in so that I cover that sharp wire up, so you don't have any sharp wires sticking out. And I'm working my way now backwards towards the whole of the bird. And now it's just a question of filling in the whole bird and filling in the whole head or neck area, working my way down from there, from the head down, like so. I'm continuing where I started off. So I'm going to wrap the whole of the flamingo. You don't have to keep it bent. You can make it straight again if that feels more natural, and just keep bending it in as and when you need to see the shape, because at some point you will have to have it bent to fill in the middle part where the body is. You may have just noticed that I've just turned the whole lot. So from wrapping my wool around here where I go over and over flat like a ribbon, can you see? I've actually just turned the whole thing round, and I'm twisting my pipe cleaner now and leave the wool still, so I can wrap the pipe cleaner up in that way. Okay, so I'm gonna check in a minute how everybody's getting on. That'd be good, probably. So the pipe cleaner that I'm using here is one of our extra strong pipe cleaners, and they're 30 centimeters long. So if you're using it for a smaller version of a bird, you would halve that pipe cleaner. So whilst you need less than half of the wool to make a large flamingo, you can use you need to use half a pipe cleaner, so not a quarter. So that just applies for the wool, the measuring. So okay. I know we're still looking for the amount of wool that you need to use the flamingo, but I'm almost certain that it doesn't take anywhere near as 10 grams, so you should be fine with 7 to 8 grams. If Emma, if you're still looking for it, you could look at the look for the Flamingo Workshop recipe, and it will be on there, because we took them all the way to the handmade fair last year. So there's my bird now. It does actually help to sort of keep it in shape now, because you want to make sure that you are following that shape. And I'm going to start wrapping the wool thicker now in the middle part. If you have a neck area and it's become quite sort of fluffy and thick, you can very gently with your needle felt down the wool. Now when you're needle felting onto pipe cleaner, you have to be mindful that you have actually got a wire running inside there. So work alongside the wire, stab it very gently, so don't really just go for it, and do it all over, because as you're doing shallow stabs, if you're not doing them shallow enough, they could sort of poke out on the other side again, so you've got it smooth on one side and then not on the other. So it's just stab into it and fasten that closer to the pipe cleaner. You do want them to be to have quite skinny necks. They're not meant to have great fat necks, so keep the neck area nice and skimpy. There we are. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to work with larger quantities of that pink to fill in the middle part of the body. So that's quite a big part here I've just put on, but that's really good because now you can definitely see the shape taking place, and you just start stabbing this into itself and also along the pipe cleaner. Again, like I said, Be careful when you stab your wool with the needle, because you might just hit the pipe cleaner and you really don't want that. So you try and make that transition from the neck to the body quite nicely. So I'm going to add a little bit more on here in a minute, so it doesn't look like he's got sort of it's almost like a pipe, a plumbing pipe under the sink. We don't want that. We want it to be a lot more sort of a lot more transition happening there from the bulk of the body to the bottom of the neck. But I'm just stabbing this so that it's actually taking shape and becoming a little bit firmer. This wool is so ready to be turned into a 3D shape, and obviously this color wool just wants to be a flamingo. There's no two ways about it. You don't have to use that wool. I did make one in blue. I think they're quite nice too. It's got his legs folded up there. I've made one in bright pink, which is sitting here behind me. I'll show you in a minute when I'm going onto the big camera again. So to get rid of this bit here, you can just bring the neck up a little bit, and then you obviously make the transition easier by just integrating that more into the body. So adding a bit more wool around that bend and then felting it down so it becomes more of a part of the bigger bulk that you're building up here. So don't be afraid to ask questions. I will try and answer as many as I can with the help of Emma, who is here as well. We've had several comments sort of later on made that sometimes the comments stay on YouTube when people are watching it later, and sometimes they go away. We have absolutely no idea what is happening when. So yeah. So. And I think that Emma is also telling us we could, one thing that's happening right now with the makers is that we're changing to a new system, and we can't right now upload, we can't list the PDF as a new product. I tell you what, Emma, just do it as a free tutorial. How about that? Can you? I don't know if you can do that at all. That might be a bit more complicated, but we should do this flamingo as a free tutorial. There we are. So if you come to this bit and, like with me here, I feel that tail is far too long, you can just bend it in there, because you're going to cover that whole area up. So there's nothing wrong with just covering this up now. Just make sure that tail is pointing down. Don't bring it up, because then it will have the shape of a swan. So you do want to keep that tail pointing downwards. And if you don't believe me, do look at a photo of a flamingo. You will see that their tails are actually drooping down rather than sticking up. There we go. And what's really interesting is that the color of the flamingo depends on the food that they eat. So they can change color if they eat a different diet. And I think it's something to do with because they eat prawns and things like that. And if they eat sort of like that color prawn, the color transfers onto them. It's quite an interesting concept there. So he's beginning to look quite flamingo-like. I want to felt him down a little bit more, and I want to give him a bit more down here. So instead of just wrapping the wool round and round and round, you can also build up a pad here. So I'll show you again how I've done that. It's just little bits of wool that I'm just putting on top of each other. So I'm making quite a little wad there, and then you can just fit this underneath him rather than having to wrap around the top as well, because then you're just making him bigger all around instead of just building bulk in a very specific place. I will tell you that I'm felting this flamingo really, really loose, so there's not much bulk to it. And also the thing that I've just reminded myself of when I was doing this tutorial during the Handmade Festival last year, people sometimes made theirs quite flat. So if you want to make sure that this bird has got actually a round body, not just a flat body, then you also have to felt it from all directions. So you might have to give it a good old stab from underneath and also from the top. So do be careful when you do that from the top, that you are avoiding the wire that's running through the top as much as you can, and just felt it down a little bit more so that you have the body in proportion to the neck. So the body at the moment seems a little bit big in proportion to the neck for my liking, but that's okay, because we can always reduce the size of the body and sort of round it off a bit and make it a bit more so that it's slightly smaller. If there's squish in it like that, then you have room to reduce the size. That's sort of the golden rule with anything that you're needle felting. If you have got air in it, then you can reduce the size quite dramatically sometimes, because if there's lots of air in it, you should be able to make it quite small. And you can, of course, because you've got the pipe cleaner in there, you can also give it a good old squish so that the pipe cleaner will shrink down, not shrink down, but will bend in a bit more. So that will also help you reduce the size of the bird if you need to do that. I'm using a medium needle here at the moment, but you could use, with this wool, you can definitely use a coarse needle. I'm just going to change over and see what that's like. Yeah, that's so much more. Ooh, that crunching noise. Gotta love that one. There we go. If you need to build up bulk on the sides because he's too flat, then just do that padded technique that I've just shown you and put that onto the side of the bird. So just building him up a bit more. So if you need to make this rounder here, at the moment that seems quite flat, then you can use the wool and build up layers to put them on the side, and that will round him off. You might have to repeat this process, but that will round it off. So I'm just stabbing it on the sides first because I don't want to flatten it straight away, and that will make a huge difference. I'll show you in a minute in the profile so you can see how just that little bit of wool building it up on the side has actually, can you see how that's built? There you can see it. You can see it now. This is still flat and this has become round. Okay, so I still want this to be slightly smaller, so I'm going to keep stabbing into him, but trying not to flatten him again. And then I'll show you next how we're going to do the eyes and how we're going to do the legs and the wispy feathers on the side of him. If you want to wear it as a brooch, then you could keep one side flat and just have it nice and round on the other side. Okay, I'm just gonna have a quick look how everybody's doing. Let's have a quick read at the comments. Okay, let's have a look. Where am I here? Oh, here we are. Sorry. Right, I'm going to have a quick break just to read the comments now. I think it's going to be a warm weekend, but if you've had rain, then hopefully it will clear up. What are you going to make me buy today then? Have you got the surprise box already, Faith? Oh, I don't want to come across as if I'm making you buy things. That makes me feel really bad, because we have a big launch tomorrow, because we are going to have the Hoggy family, the Make Hoggy family project pack, and I can just see that Heather, Holly, and Huey are still on their own. Homer's still not home, so we need to get him home. We've got some great ideas how the Mekhoggies can help all the hedgehogs in the country. How nice is that? Imagine this family could help all the hedgehogs in the whole of the UK, because I think the hedgehogs are having a bit of a tough time. So if you want to help hedgehogs already, I know you all want to get Homer home, but you can already help the hedgehogs by Homer is here actually. Hello. If you want to help all of the hedgehogs in the whole of the country, then you could make sure that they can get from garden to garden. So have a little hole that will also help Homer to get home, because you don't want him to be stuck on the wrong side of the wall and then he can't get home. So make sure you have a hole so hedgehogs can go from garden to garden and can get through the hedge and maybe have a little hole in the wall. Leave some water out. If you find a hedgehog during the day, that's never good news. That often means that they're actually hungry and they might be a little bit undernourished. So if you have a hedgehog rescue place, then maybe you could take them there, but they have to be a certain weight. I don't know off the top of my head what that is, but usually hedgehogs are nocturnal, so they don't tend to wander just randomly around in the garden during the day. That's often sort of a sign that something's not quite right. So we need to rescue our hedgehogs all around the country, and we need to take Homer home. So as of tomorrow, we will be the project packs for Christmas will be launched, and it is a Christmas special edition. So they might be available up after Christmas, but you will get so much more for your money before Christmas, because we are going to have special little surprises in there, because after all, it's Christmas. And what happens at Christmas? Presents. So lots of presents in there as well. And yeah, do help Homer to find his way home by having a hole in the hedge, bit of water outside. People sometimes leave dog food out, but we can't do that, because our dogs will just eat it. Our cats will eat it, the rats will eat it, the foxes will eat it, and then there won't be anything left for the hedgehogs. So yeah, so this is what the flamingo looks like now. He's yeah, he's all right actually. He's give him a bit of a squish if you're felting along, and I'm just neaten him up a little bit more now, and then I'm going to show you how to give him legs. Now, if you want to give him pipe cleaner legs, I think the best way is to maybe just have them, put them in, poke a hole in there, put them in, bit of glue, and have them coming out. They have quite they have absolutely humongous long legs. In case you haven't noticed, that's the flamingo leg there. Look at this. Oh my god, this unruly bird. I'm gonna have to show her to you again. I can't remember what she was called. She was named at the last after the last handmade fair. It was something princess, because she's obviously a royal bird, having made her first appearance at Hampton Court in London, and even Kirsty also held her, and this one is definitely continuously on gin. So if, just to give you an idea, you can scale little things up to big things. And if you're familiar with our wire, and we do some really severely strong wire, which is steel and it's fat, I have tripled up this wire for this bird. And look, I can't let go of her, because she's got the most unruly neck. It will just about stay up, but you have to sort of support her nevertheless. So she's definitely been on the gin, this one, and she's got really naughty legs as well, because if you carry her around, they're skirt lifters. You can't walk near anybody, because she'll just put her legs under people's skirt and lift their skirts up. So she's a very naughty bird. She's completely bonkers. But yeah, you can scale things up, and she's coming to say hello to you. Oh my goodness, she's having a good look at you all, looking at how you are making those flamingos. But I think I'm gonna just put her away again, because she's doing the splits now. She's crazy, that bird. Okay, you stay there now. Oh, she's looking over my shoulder now. Oh no, she's not having any of this. Stay there. Anyway, let's little look at comments again. Okay, how long is the pipe cleaner? Or I answered that. 12 grams of flamingo. I was completely out. So obviously it's for the small one, you need about 6 to 7 grams. Or in fact, you only need a quarter, as I said. So I'm completely talking nonsense today. So just to repeat this for sure, 12 grams of flamingo pink wool bats, and then a 30 centimeter pipe cleaner, and you literally just need wisps of that black and of the different color pink. If I wanted stiffer legs, would I attach them to the body? That's what I would do. I would put pipe cleaners. You could, if you had an awl, you could make a hole and then just put them in and then just glue them in. You will never get your flamingo to stand on those legs, as you can tell. But I really like it when they're actually perched on a wire. Where is that now? I don't know, but I have got to, there, because you can put them inside There. You can put them in a plant pot and stand them up that way. And you can also put them on a cocktail stick and have them. Oh, come on, you naughty bird, stay there. Okay, I'm gonna keep her in her box now. Also, that just reminds me, if you're watching this, and I often forget that, but just give us a like, because right there under me now, probably in your left hand corner, just give us a like, because then that brings that video to the attention of other people more likely. So it would be nice if others could. Look at her. Oh, she's so annoying, honestly. Ah, right. Ah, stay there. Come on. Okay. Right. Well, stay there then. Let's continue with the bird, shall we? So if I want to give her eyes, first of all, I'm going to go small again. There we go. So to give her eyes, these are actually just needle felted into there, and because they have sort of, they have really weird eyes actually, like almost sort of white eyes with a bit of black in the middle, so they're not that attractive. So you use a tiny little bit of wool, really tiny, as I've just shown you, and then you just very, very gently, you have to felt that into the side of the head without breaking your needle on the wire. That's the bit where you have to find where your needle actually fits in there, and then once you find that gap where the needle fits, just put that eye in there straight away, just very gently stab the black in onto that lighter pink strip that you've left on the head there, and then you repeat that on the other side, and just roll your wool up into your fingers like a tiny little bogey there, and then roll it into there. Oh, I remember now. Oh, Emma, you're a star. Emma's remembered what we call our what do you call it? There's some weird stuff happening with my phone today, so I do apologize, because everything's just going wrong here. Okay, sorry, I'm with you again now, but Emma has just remembered what the what's it called? It was Princess Floozy. That's it. Well, I should have remembered that, because she's like a floozy. She's just flouncing around as if there's no care in the world. Right, there we are. So she's now got eyes on both sides of her head, and now I'm going to give her a little bit of this wing pattern here. You can use this this wool that we're using for the legs. You can actually use that. And if you sort of untwist it, it's not plied, but it's slightly twisted, you can even tear bits off it. It is like a wool top, so just tear bits off like that if you're using that sort of stuff, but otherwise just use any other of the wool. And I'm just making this, we don't actually sell this wool, so I don't want you to now go looking for that. We just had that as a in fact, I don't even know why I'm showing you this, but if you have wool like that at home, then you could use that unspun pencil roving. We do sell similar wool, but I don't think we've got a pink like that anyway. You can turn that into felting wool. Just keep mixing, tearing it apart, and if you have whatever pink you're using, just mix it in with your main color pink. But don't mix it too much, just tear it a little bit apart, so that you've got almost sort of like a streaky mix, and the streaks, they look a bit like feathers, and then you can just add that onto the side of the bird for wings, there. And then you repeat that on the other side. You're probably going to adjust the whole shape at the same time. So I'm just going to do that on the other side now. There. So try and have the fibers running like the wing would be, so from the side, from the front to the back, rather than up and down. There, like that. And I've felted them on really loosely, because they're meant to look feathery and sort of slightly yeah, not fastened totally onto it. And that's also one of the reasons why we're keeping the bird quite loosely felted, because we want it to look feathery and soft, rather than a very solid fabric. Okay, so I'm just adjusting a bit of her shape here. And then to do the legs, if you are using yarn like this, like I say, this could be a different color, any sort of color of pink, or even like a more orangey color, apricot color. The way to do that is by cutting a couple of lengths off. I'm cutting this quite long, and the reason why I'm cutting this long is A, I need to felt it on, so a lot will sink into the body, and B, I need to knot it to give it knobbly knees and the foot. So I'm going to do halfway down, I'm going to put a knot in there now for a knee, like that. In fact, I'm going to put another knot right next to it for a knee joint, and then I'm going to knot the foot. And the foot I'm knotting, again, I'm knotting a couple of times, but not on top of each other, but next to each other. And that will have the effect that you, oh, that didn't work. Just need to do another knot then next to it. That will take care of a lot of the length of it. So you've got almost sort of got like a, don't worry if this doesn't look like anything like a flamingo foot. It will look a lot more authentic once they're dangling off the flamingo, and they do have really long legs. And then you just fasten that leg into the body with your felting needle by just literally stuffing the wool in with your needle and fastening it onto the bird underneath, obviously. Just going to use a slightly coarser needle to do that. Gives a bit more of a better grip there. And once you've done that, you can cover up the join with a tiny bit of wool, so you don't have that sort of looking like you've just attached the leg. Oh, a bit more grass in there. And then you put the other leg, you could put it slightly behind here rather than next to each other, so it looks like the legs are next to each other. And for this one, I'm actually fastening it in first because I want to make sure that I have the knots in the right place. Otherwise it looks like it's got one knee joint higher than the other. You can of course also just felt the legs on and then knot it if you want to make sure that they're all exactly the same. So now I've got my legs there. I'm going to knot it here because I've measured it against the other leg. Let's put one on here and another one on there. So for the knee joint, you try and put two knots on top of each other, and for the foot part, you try and put them in front of the other, which I didn't do so well earlier, but I'll try to do better now. There. And hopefully they're sort of the same length. If they are not the same length, there, then just felt the one that is slightly longer in a bit more. Let's give it a few more stabs, and then obviously adjust. That's better. And there you are. You can't really see on that camera setting. Well, you can just about see it. There you are. You've made a whole flamingo, including legs and all. Now I will just show this close up, but if you wanted it to be on a cocktail stick, or we have these really lovely green wire stems that are super sturdy, you can poke that into the bird. I've just been wriggling it, and then it's sitting on there. Or I'll show you the wire stems here. They come in, you get 25 pieces in there. I absolutely love them. These are florist wires, and I love them because they're so strong. I wouldn't use them for needle felting for shaping because they're quite hard to bend. I mean, you could if you wanted to make something that has got a lot of, is quite a lot of resistance here. I've just pulled that wire out. So then just put that in instead of the cocktail stick. And if you're putting that in a plant where it's less visible, because it's green and you can't see it so much, then that should look really nice. And I'm just going to go big so that you can actually see. There is the bird, and if she's sitting in a plant pot, then you won't see the green so much, and you just think, oh, there's a flamingo stalking through my cactus or whatever plant you have got. And that's basically how you make a flamingo. Oh look, she's having a dance now. So that's that's it. I'm gonna have a quick look at any questions because I don't want you to I'm just going to see if there's any other. Oh yes, and then also okay. So the 12 grams of wool will definitely make 2 small ones or 1 large one. I would say that's definitely the case. If you want to make a small one, you will use less than half of the wool. You also can wear them as brooches, especially because you can use one of our special brooch backs. Oh, it's got lots of wool on it. Brooch backs, no sew brooch backs pins. If you haven't got them yet, don't delay any further. I'll just show you how they work. So you've got your this is your pin there. I know it looks like a safety pin, but it's not. You can use it as a safety pin if you want. You've got your project that you want to pin on. You literally just go in. So I've just put one side of the pin in, and now you're going to swivel it round so that the back part of the pin is actually fastened into the project that you want to secure, and then you can just close it up like a safety pin, but you haven't got that loop there that stops it from swiveling around. And the best thing of all is that you can take it out anytime to reuse it on something else. So you don't need to have lots and lots of these all in brooches. If you can take them out, they are reusable, and yeah, that's really easy to work with those. So I will just have a look at some of the comments here. How is everybody doing? I hope you can share what you're doing with us on Everyone a Maker. And if you still don't know what Everyone a Maker is, that is our Facebook group. We've just reached 3,000 members, so thank you very much for that. Gosh, Alicia, you have been really fast, because Alicia was here with us this morning. We've got a big announcement to make, so you can all be guessing about that now. I don't think I'm missing anything. You could also make a grey one as a baby. Oh, I want a baby flamingo. That would be so nice. Erica says hers looks like a swan. What's the tail doing? Is he going up or going down? We definitely want to see what you've made. I don't care whether it looks like a swan, like a penguin, or like a bluebird. Just post it. If using pipe cleaners for legs, how do you create the knees then? Well, you could just, if you were using pipe cleaner for legs, and say you had the pink ones, I don't think I've got any pinks down here, you could just use a little bit of the different color pink and make knobbly knees. It's the knobbly knees that that sort of seem to be quite distinct for these kind of birds. So just wrap a little bit of a pink wool around, if whatever color legs you're using, stick with that color, and wrap it around the knees, so you get that knee joint. With Floozy, she has got florist tape legs. Oh God, I feel so embarrassed about her. But anyway, Floozy was made in a day, which is probably why she's a bit of a freak. But she has got her. If you're doing this on a smaller scale and you use wire instead of pipe cleaners, you can wrap florist tape, which looks very real. I could only get this. We only sell brown, this beige and yellow. But that florist tape is brilliant for wrapping around wire for bird legs or anything like that. So I know people who prep their wire with this as well, because it florist tape, if you've worked with it, you know that it's ever so slightly sticky, and that creates it sticking to itself. And then you can imagine that if you wrap wool around it afterwards, it sort of adheres to itself. And yeah, that's basically how the flamingo. Oh my God. Oh, come on now, Floozy. It's all right. We'll get you your gin and tonic again in a minute, and then you'll be walking more in a straight line. Okay. So I hope that has helped everybody to make a flamingo. We definitely haven't got time for a second one. But in any case, I think you probably managed to get yours done. I just have another quick look at the comments, and and see. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that we're missing. So for the, oh yes, Alicia says, oh God, how did the mice get into this? The link is for the mice pack. Make sure you have your mice ready. Oh, I think Alicia is having a big mouse party tonight. So, and talking about other projects. So next week, Sophie will be doing the mice with you all on our live stream, and she's also going to do little seahorses, and they are really super cute, and it's a very, very similar technique as with the flamingo, as you can probably guess. So remember to tune in next week. Lots and lots of support for Sophie, because I think it's fair to say that I'm definitely the Gabby one. So if she'll be absolutely fine, but it would be really nice to see all of you with her there next week as well. And of course, if you want to rewatch this video, you can. I am not entirely sure how the comments will stay on there or not. So next week it'll be mice and seahorses with Sophie. But before that, tomorrow you will see both of us at the unwrapping of the makers boxes, because this is now August as of Saturday. So tomorrow is still the last day if you want to get the Dachshunds, which are still patiently sitting up on the box there. And then it's sloth time. Time to play with the sloths. There they are. They're really excited to meet you all. So, and then of course tomorrow is we're also going to be talking about the new surprise box, which is the theme is jungle. And in the meantime, you have got one day, so today, the rest of it, and tomorrow all day to get this month's subscription box, July. And of course tomorrow is also we will also show you the new fairy that is coming out on the 1st of August. Whew, hope I got all of that right. So just the last quick check on the comments, and then I shall wave you goodbye and take my leave with that silly bird here. You can't just knot the pipe. No, did you actually just knot the pipe cleaners? Oh, I've never tried that. I'm going to try it with the extra strong. You might be able to. Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you could knot the pipe cleaners. Why ever not? That's a brilliant idea. Thank you, Alicia, for that. So yeah, just knot the pipe cleaners if you don't want to wrap wool around it. Unless you try, you don't know. So that's brilliant. Oh, Helen says, I've given up totally. Helen, you and I, we have to have a chat. Post yours on the Everyone a Maker so we can have a look. And then everybody else, please do post as well. And then we will sort you out, and we'll have a nice look at your beautiful flamingos, no doubt. So until then, I will be back tomorrow, and then excited about the boxes. Hope you are too. And yeah, make some flamingos and show us what you've made, and we see you again very, very soon. Bye.